Geometry students, we're only going to do half of this next lesson today and then the other half later. The other half is just a little more complicated. So we're going to start with the only theorem, well, it's actually two theorems because the converse is true, that allows us to talk about inequalities or compare lengths of two different triangles. It's called the hinge theorem or the converse of the hinge theorem. I like side angle side inequality. It's called the hinge theorem because I want you to think about this angle WVX and the angle SRT, those sides of the angle acting like a hinge in a door. And the wider the door is open, the further that distance would be. And the shorter that distance is open, the less that distance would be. So you can actually imagine the hinge theorem by holding your hand in kind of a V shape and moving your thumb closer to your fingers, moving that V. And if you can imagine that third side of the triangle that's not there, it would be getting shorter. So the way this says is if two sides of one triangle are congruent to two sides of another, and the included angle in the triangle is larger than the other. That's why I like side angle side inequality here. And then here it's the reverse if you know the distance of the sides here. So I actually call this side 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 inequality. I like these abbreviations. You can use hinge theorem and converse of the hinge theorem, but let's see how they work. The way they would work is if we were to have a picture like this. You could tell me what side is bigger, AB or CB. The way you know is that 15 is the same as 15. Figure not drawn to scale, by the way. Okay, 15 is the same as 15. I think that's supposed to be a 22, sorry. 22 the same as 22. Because you have the side of one triangle congruent to the side of another, and another side congruent to another side, and you know the relationship about the included angles, I know that AB has to be bigger than CB. So I know AB is bigger than 15. Good? And that would be by the side angle side inequality. Another picture you might see could just be something with the sides, right? So very similar picture where this is 22 and I tell you this is 15 and this is 15 and I tell you okay, this right here is 14 and this right here is 12. Well, now we know that this angle is bigger than that angle, and we know that by side side inequality. I know one side's congruent to another, I know one side's congruent to another, and then I know this side is smaller than that, so I know this angle here has to be smaller than that. That's the hinge theorem and the converse of the hinge theorem. It's 11 o'clock on a Friday night, and I'm talking geometry. Getting pretty tired, so that's really it. That's why we're going to do this video short and sweet right now. Have a good night. Peace.